Bienvenidos, guys. Welcome to another video by your boy. Today we're going to be reacting to CJ DaChamp's, I think, newest video. It came out like 2 days ago. It's called Thragg, The Trial of Thragg, Viltrum's Final Boss, right? So we're basically going to be going over Thragg's pretty much as, like, beating the ass of, once again, Mark and his brother Oliver and Nolan. You know, we're gonna be basically covering that shit, and I think it's gonna be fun. CJ's videos are always fun. But before we jump right into the reaction, guys, remember to hit the like button down below. It'll be greatly appreciated if you do. We're trying to hit trying to grow the channel here, as well as subscribe. We're currently, I think, at 91 subscribers. We are 9 away from 100, which is the goal, or the subscriber goal. Thank you guys so much that did subscribe. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. Everything, you know, all the typical stuff that's said during that by other YouTubers. Thank you. Enough of my rambling. I think I'm just rambling way too much. Let's jump right into the reaction. All right, guys, let's jump right into the reaction. Oliver always runs his mouth. He did, Oliver. He absolutely lived up to the hype.
Your life literally
Oliver,
is
man.
as valuable as a summer ant. Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose. Because what are you here for? To worship me? Kill yourself.
Jesus, Oliver always gets the fucking short end of the stick in this series, doesn't he? Damn, bro.
All right, ladies
Feels
and
bad.
gentlemen, y'all already know what time it is. Court is now in session because it's time for a trial. And it is for none other than the crispiest Viltrumite in the galaxy. Viltrum's final boss, Grand Regent Thragg. So, y'all already know how this works. We got the evidence and it is
He doesn't
ready
look
to be
like
presented.
imposing
And
at the
my God,
beginning,
I
which is
gotta
why a
say,
lot of
this
people
is
made
some of
that
the most
mistake.
damning evidence a character has ever had. So, without further ado, Exhibit A. All right, let's get down to business. Right. Exhibit A, Thragg's rise to power and his multiple atrocities. Now, we actually got a glimpse of Thragg's backstory right here. And just from this backstory alone, you could already tell that Thragg was a crazy-ass nigga because this man is responsible for multiple horrible atrocities. So let's start off with example 1. This one planet was trying to start a rebellion because they were fed up with the Viltrumites' rule. So they decided to blow some shit up and retaliate. So the Viltrumite higher-ups, or Argall's council, whatever the hell you want to call them, had a meeting to discuss of what they should do about this rebellion. Now, Krieg and Thetis were basically arguing the whole time.
Oh, there's
Krieg
Thetis.
straight up proposed that they should just decimate the whole planet to show the strength of the Viltrum Empire and strike fear into the species that was trying to rebel. But Thetis, on the other hand, proposed that they shouldn't decimate their planet because the Viltrumite rule over this species was cruel and inhumane. And he thought that since this species showed some type of pushback against their oppressors, that it was an act of strength and Viltrum should respect it because their main core value was strength. Now, while they kept yapping, Argall decided to shut both of them up. Then he asked Thragg, young nigga Thragg,
oh, right, that's the original ruler.
What do you think we should do about this minor inconvenience? And Thragg straight up said that these creatures were so weak that their weakness was an offense to the natural order of the universe.
All right, calm down, Thragg.
On why they're so ass. And after hearing Thragg's rant, Argall was like, now that is why you are my right-hand man. Tax them niggas 25% of their population. This man Thragg is responsible for this race losing 25% of their population.
That's crazy. They taxed their population instead of money. Crazy.
As hell. Now, let's move into example 2. His first day is Emperor. Now, after Argall got assassinated and took a big-ass shank to the skull from Optimus Prime, they had a massive funeral for this man, and it was broadcasted across the entire planet. So after Thragg was done giving the eulogy, he does what is quite possibly one of the craziest things a leader could ever do. He said that there is a sickness in our society.
All right, he's the one that started that, oh, Viltrumites need to kill Viltrumites bullshit.
Brother behind him and asks him, do I look fresh today?
I like it, cut G.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, he did that shit. Yeah, he did that.
He
for no reason.
This brother for no reason at all. He chopped his head clean off to make an example out of him. So
mental note. Thragg is the reason why Nolan grew up with such shitty parents, right? Because like this whole idea, well, Nolan's parents were probably shitty to begin with, but he's basically the reason why a lot of the Viltrumites were brainwashed and indoctrinated into his way of thinking, and why you know why it became it basically went almost the Viltrumites went almost extinct because of his whole let's murk each other, which was stupid. This guy became emperor, and the first thing he did was like, hey, how about we cut down our population that are weak? Dog, that is dumb. Of course some of you are going to be stronger than others. That's just how that works. It's normal. But nah, dude, Grand Regent Thragg is like, let's get rid of all the trash, bro. Almost causing our extinction type
After
shit.
He just murdered this dude in front of everyone. This man gets on the mic and says, as my first command as Grand Regent, I, Thragg, hereby officially announce the first ever Viltrum Culling Games. Seek out every single sorry ass nigga in our population and eradicate them.
Oh, there's Nolan. You can see him.
Purge every weak nigga from our population.
Or Omni-Man,
After
for those that don't know.
gave this speech, all hell just broke loose across the entire planet, and the Great Purge began.
Again, stupid. If population was what you were worried about, this was dumb.
They considered weak. And it wasn't just the adults doing it too. It was the kids as well. Look at them jumping this little nigga. Bro got jumped by 3 other kids that got stomped out to death. This was just straight up horrific. And I'ma keep it a beam. This had to be one of the worst ways to ever find out who was weak or not. Because what this was a battle royale. Anything could happen. You could literally get cheap kills off of niggas for third-partying another 1v1.
Yeah, there was no way to tell who's strong and who's weak.
Until their 1v1 was over and they were at half HP. And just come behind them and sneak their ass. Like, this shit is stupid.
Yeah.
God forbid.
Like I said, this whole plan of Thragg's was dumb as shit. It almost led to the extinction of the Viltrumites. What was this dude thinking? And why would they ever allow this man to go to power? God damn. I don't care if he was the Emperor's right-hand man. I don't care. His ideas were clearly dumb. And did not take into consideration the Viltrumites' health or what they deserve or anything.
Into a motherfucker like Conquest, because that was just instant death. It didn't matter how strong you
Conquest loved this. You know he was fiending off of it.
And at the end of this purge that Thragg started, it led to half of their population getting wiped out.
Like I said,
billions
dumb.
of Viltrumites died because of this purge. And those billions of bodies are on Thragg's head, because he literally commanded them to do this.
Yeah, again,
and
stupid.
Now we're at our third
For a guy that says he cares about his people, yeah, bullshit.
major atrocity, and that was his invasion on Telescria. This nigga pulled up in a big ass Star Destroyer and started burning this city to the ground and destroying everything. Millions of innocent.
This was Alan's homeworld, for those wondering.
While this man was just sitting in his ship and looking down on all this death and destruction. And there is a high probability that this man would have probably just scorched the whole planet if Mark and friends didn't destroy his ship and make him tweak out about losing Skull. But I think that we
they stopped Mark and them stopped them from just evaporating this civilization for no reason.
He's just a straight up space tyrant, because there is nothing more that this nigga loved to do than conquer civilizations and spread bloodshed wherever he went.
But the thing is, Frieza, while Frieza was just like this, he wouldn't just all willy-nilly kill off every species. He'd spare the ones that would like prostrate themselves and kiss his ass. So he's a bit different. As bad as Frieza was, I think Frieza looks like a much kinder person next to Thragg. Even though Frieza himself is also the same racist, egotistical guy, and that's saying a lot.
All right. Exhibit B, putting the fraud allegations to rest.
Oh yeah, everybody called him a fraud.
The amount of people that were calling Thragg a fraud before episode 7 was just flat out.
It's like none of them read the comics.
Now in a era where if
I knew Thragg was not a thing because I read the comics.
Putting belt to ass to niggas in the first 5 minutes of their
he was no fraud.
Time, they're putting them on fraud watch. People were actually calling him a fraud before he even threw his first punch. Now, if you were a part of the crowd that was calling Thragg a fraud before this happened, all is forgiven. As long as you sign this document and turn it in by the end of the trial. Now,
I don't need to. I didn't think he was a fraud. I knew he was. I knew he was a monster.
Because they pulled up searching for this man just for him to meet them at the front door.
Eesh.
Bro said, "You ain't even got."
That's some next level aura right there.
Right here, and I'm ready to throw down. So Thula comes from behind and sneaks Status in the back, and all the other Viltrumites end up surrounding them. Because Thragg set up an ambush because he knew they were gonna try to track him down and kill him on Viltrum. So he sicks his minions to start jumping the coalition, while he just straight up sat back and watched them fight the whole time. This dude didn't even bother to move from the spot he was in till Space Racer shot his Infinity Ray at him. And all he did was move back a couple of inches. This man didn't give a flying f about a laser that would one-shot him. He just straight up had the confidence to know
he gave. That's why he moved.
So the first person to actually try
he wouldn't have moved if he didn't care.
So Nolan flew in and tried to hit him, but all Thragg did was move back a couple of inches again and make Nolan hit straight air. Then Thragg flew above him and winded up a punch from the heavens. And if you take a look at Nolan's face right here, you can tell that he is clearly thinking,
damn, he really about to rock my shit.
Thragg punched this nigga Nolan so hard he turned into a living, breathing meteor and made him crash all the way down on the surface of Viltrum. So after Thragg hit Nolan with a stage change, Thragg came down and tried to hit Nolan with some good old talk no jutsu. He was telling him, "Nolan, big dog, come home. Why are you fighting for these sorry-ass, weak-ass niggas? Thetis' sorry-ass killed our emperor and brought us to damn near extinction, and you wanna align with that Autobots roll-out sounding-ass nigga?" But Nolan tried to tell Thragg that he was a changed man now, and he was done sipping from that Viltrum Kool-Aid to be a brainwashed space tyrant. So after Nolan tried to get Thragg to stop and surrender, Thragg looked at Nolan dead in the face and said, "Oh, Nolan, how far you fallen. Looks like that Earth Coochie really made you a soft-ass nigga."
It did.
So
it really did. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Nolan with a short Yukin from hell that sent Nolan flying.
The fact he survived that goes to show you that Nolan ain't no pushover, by the way.
Space, the next person that tried to step up was everyone's favorite useless purple punching bag.
Alright, let's not insult Oliver. Cut the boy some slack. He wants to be strong, okay? He has the Viltrumite DNA too. Cut the boy some slack, okay? He's not strong now because he's like a very youth. He's a very young. He's a youngling, right? He's young. Once he gets to be about Mark's age, maybe when Mark first got his strength, he'll become stronger, right? It'll take time. He's not. He may be useless now. He won't be forever, guys. Come on. Cut the boy some slack, okay? He took a beating from Conquest for no reason, to be fair, but he took a beating from Conquest.
Why is everyone so nervous about fighting this Thragg guy? No way he lives up to the hype.
Now, as we can see, Oliver is basically representing everybody that put Thragg on Fraud Watch. He himself was not believing in all the hype, even after his dad straight up told him, however strong you think you are, Thragg is stronger.
Yeah.
But Oliver, being a hard-headed ass nigga and not listening to
He's a teenager. Calm down. It's okay.
Ended up being on the receiving end of one of the most brutal scenes in the series. Oliver flew in to punch Thragg, but Thragg stops him with one hand. Then he crushes Oliver's hand and grabs him by the arm when he tried to get away. And you can see it in Oliver's face when he finally realized that he fucked up. And he should have listened to his pops the whole time. But it was all too late for him. Thragg backhands Oliver so hard, his jaw falls off and his left arm got snatched.
You'll be fine. You'll live through that. Viltrumites live through a bunch of shit.
Nigga Oliver is the most useless person on this squad. He was a waste of space. And I already know some of y'all gonna be like, but CJ, what about Tech Jacket? You see, at least Tech Jacket knows her role. Sit in the back line, shoot your Viltrumite debuff darts at him, and get your assist. She's being a good support character. Oliver, on the other hand, is that one brain dead DPS on your team that goes into a fight alone, dies, and asks where the team was at as he's feeding the other team. This nigga is just straight up garbage. This little nigga was talking
it's a really good
comparison
to be fair.
And not being able to talk again for the foreseeable future. trash can, bro. So after Oliver got
He'll
home
heal,
by
though.
Thragg, Mark tried to rush
Viltrumites have
Thragg with
insane
the rage
healing
beast,
powers for
offered
some reason.
Thragg to flash him with one of the craziest impact frames of all time, then stopping his punch with his hairline. Then after he showed Mark his fresh lineup that he got right before this battle, he gives him
He does have a nice fade,
a
though.
mean-ass gut check, then grabs him by the neck and pip slaps him out of Viltrum's
That was
throat.
disrespectful.
Look
What
at
the fuck?
impact frame of this man getting the shit slapped out of him.
Get out of here, bro.
He slapped the taste out this nigga's mouth and made his whole head do a 180 before his whole body got put in reverse. Not gonna lie, gang, just for this, I'm giving him an extra attempted murder because this pimp slap was uncalled for, bruh. So damn disrespectful. Then after he pimp slapped Mark,
Just
he
like
flew
Trick
up to
Williams
my
pimp slapped that
glorious
guy,
King
yeah.
Battle Beast, rubbed him in his jaw, then grabbed his jetpack, then threw him to a whole other solar system because we don't see him again for the rest of the fight. Just for doing that,
He threw him away because he knew Battle Beast
because
would have
throwing
gave him an
Battle Beast
actual
like a
fight. I
toy
think
into
Battle
deep
Beast is
space
pretty strong.
actually insane. So since everyone was getting dog walked by Thragg, they decided the best thing to do was to just destroy the whole planet. So Space Racer shot his infinity ray at the planet, and Mark, Nolan, and Thetis fly into the planet's core and blow it up.
That's insane. Look
So
at
after
that.
these three blew up the planet, this sent Thragg over the edge. This man looked directly at Thetis, locked onto his target like he was a heat-seeking missile, and ripped.
Again, I don't know why he would care. He cares so much about his planet. Brody, can I be fair with you, Thragg? You murdered a half your population. This is why Thetis turned on you guys. Because you guys were too barbaric, too crazy, and he felt like you guys were misusing your strength. Alright? Your strength could have been used separate, elsewhere. Thragg is cool, but he ain't that smart. In terms of like being a good leader, he's not that good. You know what I mean? I don't know why anybody would want to follow this guy, to be fair. Maybe beyond just being afraid of him, you know.
His head clean off of his shoulders. Ladies and gentlemen, that was just straight up murder. They just didn't even
he killed the guy.
to react. All he saw in his last moments was Thragg's crispy ass hairline, blitzing him at Mach speed. Then he displayed his head to everyone, then crushed it into mush while telling everyone they're next. So after he sent Optimus Prime back to
This
the
gave Mark
Bayverse, he
PTSD,
grabs
by the
Nolan
way.
with no hesitation and just starts to lay the smackdown on this nigga. While Nolan couldn't do anything, he couldn't fight back at all. Thragg then low-key started hitting Nolan with the Superman Injustice 2 super move, just yo-yoing his body with punches. Then Mark came in and tried to help out, but he gets punched in the throat and he can't breathe anymore. So Nolan tried to attack, but he gets his wrist shattered. Then when Mark saw Thragg flying towards him, his fight or flight senses kicked in. Because Mark hit the jets and just tried to skedaddle. But
I would run
Thragg
too.
was
Don't-
chasing him
so
and
it's
he
fair.
was on his
He's not
ass.
strong enough to
Look
beat him
at
right
the
now.
expression on Mark's face right here. This is the face of a man who is terrified and is running from death itself. So Thragg grabs Mark and starts giving him ferocious back shots. Then after he finished giving Mark back shots, he had him
What was that frame, dude? Where is it? Where is it, bro? Where is it? Where's the frame? Hold up. I gotta find the frame. Hold up.
This is the face of a man who is terrified.
All right,
and is
all right.
running
I'm
from
gonna
death
try to
itself.
pause it.
So
Alright.
Thragg grabs Mark and starts giving him
God.
ferocious back shots. Then after he
Who the fuck drew this, man? That's a devious look, bro. Oh god, this is the face that Thragg had when he banged all those bugs.
finished giving Mark back shots,
Spoilers.
he had him hoisted up.
Ignore
and
that
He was
if you
about
guys
to end this man's
don't know.
existence right here. But Nolan comes in and saves Mark at the last second. So after Mark got saved, Mark asked, "Dad, how do we beat him?" And Nolan looked back at his son and said, "Son, we're cooked."
Yeah, I mean, but then he gets fucking impaled. Great.
Lord have mercy, Thragg gave Nolan the Viltrumite special technique. That is just flat out attempted murder. Then Thragg grabbed Mark by the neck again and gave him a headbutt that was probably heard around the cosmos.
TTE, bro.
Then he started to squeeze his head, and he was going to crush Mark's head just like he did to Thetis. But at the last second, Thragg decides to stop because he realized that too much Viltrumite blood has been spilled. So he lets Mark off the hook and leaves him for dead in space with his father and his brother. This man Thragg shut those fraud allegations up real quick, cause he just straight up wiped the floor with everyone. Omni-Man got left with his guts hanging out, Mark got put into another coma, and Oliver had to get put in a Bacta tank with a new shiny mechanical jaw and a prosthetic arm to go with it.
Yeah, too many people were beat up by this.
Exhibit C.
Thragg was a freak.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen.
He
We
did all
have
that
reached
damage.
our
None of the other
third and final
Viltrumites did that.
Exhibit C. PTSD and holding Earth hostage.
Yeah, he
now,
did do that.
after Thragg put belt to ass to the coalition and left the whole family for dead in space, Mark thought they were going to go to Earth and destroy everything. So when Mark finally recovered from the beating that Thragg gave him, it is revealed that Mark got his ass beat so bad, he got PTSD. But not just your regular PTSD.
Don't blame him.
This nigga Mark got specifically post-thragmatic stress disorder. Not gonna lie, I think we haven't seen a case of PTSD this severe since Slade did this shit to Robin. Cause Mark was tweaking out so hard he was seeing things just like Robin was. So let's go through some of the examples.
Yeah,
real quick of
dude,
how
Mark goes through a
severe
lot of
this
shit,
actually
dude.
was. Example 1. Mark finally comes back home to see his mother for the first time after the war. So this was supposed to be a heartwarming moment, but it goes south real quick. While Mark was talking to his mom, he looked away for like 1 second. And when he turned around again, he sees Debbie getting choked out by Thragg. And Thragg tells him, "This is the smallest repayment for what you did," and rips Debbie's head clean off.
That's one way to piss off Nolan and Oliver and Mark.
Bro really thought for a second that he saw his mother get her head ripped off before he finally snapped back into reality. But this was only his first post-thragmatic stress disorder episode, because there were more to come. Example 2. Mark and Eve were having a very important conversation about how life's been for her since Mark left. And she was about to give him the whole lore dump of what all happened when he left. So right before she was about to tell Mark that she was pregnant, she gets her head snatched by Thragg. And Thragg starts to hold her up above Mark and tells him, "You took away what I loved. Now I'm
Again,
taking what you love."
I don't think you loved it, dog. You murdered half your own people. Sure, if that's love, I don't want that love, dog.
Out of her head before he finally kills her in front of Mark, then throws her lifeless body right back at him. This nigga Mark was going through hell. He was living a nightmare because he
probably
couldn't
should have
tell if
told
this
him what he was
real or
going
not.
through, though. It might have
Eve had
helped.
to snap this man out of the genjutsu that he was stuck in because he was actually stun locked. Now, let's observe example 3.
Yeah, poor
Mark
guy.
is giving the debrief to Cecil about the war and was low-key about to ask him for a therapist. Now, while their conversation continued, Mark
needs one.
closed his eyes. And the moment he looked back up, he sees Thragg giving Cecil the Viltrumite special move. And while he had his body lifted up, he told Mark, "Just to let you know, I'm still in your head. And not even therapy can repair the shit I did to you." Then he throws Cecil's lifeless body to the side like trash. And after this, Mark just started hyperventilating because he was having a panic attack mid-PTSD till Cecil finally calmed this nigga down and brought him back to reality. So after Mark went through like 3 post-thragmatic stress disorder episodes, Mark decided to go on a flight to clear his head. And while he was out flying, he sees Thragg again. So Mark, thinking he's having another episode, closes his eyes and starts to think in his head, "This is not real, this nigga's not
he's
here.
there.
This is not real, this nigga's not here. This is not real, this nigga's not here." So when Mark opens up his eyes again, Thragg was still there. And he told him, "Yes, little nigga, we indeed are here." And this was when Mark finally realized that the Thragg standing in front of him was indeed the real Thragg. So Mark starts tweaking out and begins to hit Thragg over and over again. But Thragg just took all of this with no reaction, then palmed Mark's face and threw him back to where he started. Then Thragg told him, "Stop, little nigga. I didn't come here to fight. I came here to talk." So Thragg gives this man a little smile, then tells Mark, "Here's how this is about to go down, little nigga. You took our home, so now we're taking yours. So from this day forward, we will be using Earth as a breeding ground to repopulate our forces and..."
Hell of a way to say that, but yeah.
And don't worry, they've already started Krieg done cracked like 6 of your earth holes already. That one-eyed motherfucker's having the time of his life right now. And Lucan is already famous. He's been hosting this show called Family Feud under an alias name, Steve
No fucking
Harvey
way.
or some shit. But that's besides the point. What you need to know is this, little nigga. You're going to let us coexist with you. And if you don't, we will rip this planet in half. Also, I will need to acquire the location of your planet's best barbers. Their services will be needed. So Mark has to agree because he basically has no choice. And Thragg
He's not strong enough to
takes
do
the
anything
entire
about it.
planet
He
of
really
Earth
isn't.
as hostage and turns it into a Viltrumite breeding farm.
Yeah.
The verdict. Ladies and
Thragg
gentlemen,
is a monster,
after
guys.
observing all of this evidence and tallying up this long list of charges, this is a pass with flying colors.
Yeah.
This man Thragg belongs in the elite category for menaces. He pulled off this list of charges in 3 episodes, gang. That is like a new record for Charles or some shit. And this is just the tip of the iceberg because the files on this man are going to continue over the years. So with that being said, hope y'all enjoyed. And until our next trial that is coming up very soon, I bid
Okay.
y'all farewell.
Excited for that one. That was the end of the episode, guys. That was good. That was really good. Yeah, Thragg is a freaking freak of nature. Also, him saying like when I was watching that episode, him saying like, "Oh, you took away talking about like things I care about." I'm like, Thragg, if you really did care about your people like that, dog, you wouldn't have murdered half of them, putting your species close to extinction and making them need to go and find other species that they can reproduce with. Like I said, Thragg is dumb. As cool as he is and as strong as he is, he's not very smart when it comes to a lot of things like that. But he is sick. Also, poor Mark, man. Someone needs to get that man a therapist, dude. And it's only gonna get worse for this guy going forward. But his name ain't, cute title card for no reason. So I think you'll be okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was a fun video. Link in the description to CJ's channel as well as to this video if you guys want to watch it yourself. And adios.